Watch weekdays 5 to 7 a.m.
If you see breaking news or severe weather near you, snap it and share it using Near Me on the 11 Alive News app. Want to verify if something's true or false? Record your question and send it. Download the 11 Alive News app to use Near Me.
11 Alive News at 11 p.m. is where you find out what's happening now across Metro Atlanta.
We begin tonight with breaking news out of Cobb County, where a neighborhood is now...
Where you stay a step ahead of severe weather.
Our storm risk has now been upgraded to a...
And the only place where you can verify fact versus fiction.
11 Alive can verify that claim is false.
11 Alive News at 11 p.m. Where you end the day ready to take on tomorrow.
Weather can't run from the 11 Alive Thunder Truck. A mobile weather center with the power and speed to chase down the strongest storms and bring you on-the-ground conditions. The 11 Alive Thunder Truck, sponsored by Landmark Dodge. Fighting social inequality is on all of us. That's why 11 Alive is committed to sharing diverse...
Children's Advocacy Centers for Georgia, GBI Human Exploitation Trafficking Unit, Georgia Center for Child Advocacy, Children's Healthcare of Atlanta, the Attorney General's Office, who will be prosecuting these allegations. Next, you will hear details from the primary detectives, Sergeant Michelle Austin, who will then open the floor for questions. Sarge.
Good afternoon. On Wednesday, March 15, 2023, the Clayton County Police Department's Human Trafficking Unit Commander received an anonymous tip in reference to sexual misconduct possibly occurring at the Rainbow House, Inc., Jonesboro, Georgia, 30236, in Clayton County, Georgia. An investigation was launched which revealed that Rainbow House, Inc., Jonesboro location employee 25-year-old Caleb Randolph, who is also the son of Facility Executive Director 55-year-old Mia Kimber, had engaged in inappropriate sexual conduct with at least one child who had been placed at the facility. Additionally, the investigation revealed that Mia Kimber, 53-year-old Monica Jones, who is the program director of Child Advocacy Center, both had direct knowledge of the misconduct and failed to report misconduct to law enforcement officials. Both Kimber and Monica Jones failed to take corrective action and instead engaged in a cover-up scheme which resulted in the juvenile victim being removed from the facility based on false allegations. Caleb Randolph was initially fired and rehired a short time later, only 1.5 weeks later, and since has been actively employed with Rainbow House, Inc., where he had been allowed to interact with juveniles at the facility until he was arrested by Clayton County Police Department during the early morning hours of Thursday, March 16, 2023. The investigation is ongoing and additional arrests may be forthcoming as detectives continue to investigate this misconduct of the Rainbow House, Inc. Jonesboro location. As the investigation continued, Lieutenant Marbury and I continued to unveil more disturbing behavior by adults that were supposed to protect the juveniles. We found that their behavior was criminal, greed, unprofessional, negligent, and not in the best interest of the juveniles. It was like watching a Netflix series unfold right before our eyes. When this investigation initially started, one victim was identified. 2 more victims have been identified, with more potential victims coming forward. We have conducted numerous interviews during the last 10 days. One of the interviews conducted was that of Felicia Campbell. Felicia Campbell is a 35-year-old female, a manager at the Rainbow House, Inc. in Jonesboro, and an employee of the Clayton County school system. During Ms. Campbell's interview, she advised she didn't have knowledge of sexual misconduct. The investigation revealed Ms. Campbell had files containing incident reports made by both staff members and juveniles. The files were kept in Ms. Campbell's office and with her signature on all of them. Suspects that are in custody and their charges. Caleb Xavier Randolph was arrested on March 16, 2023 on the following charges: child molestation, statutory rape, sexual assault of a person over whom have supervisory or disciplinary authority over, sexual assault by facility employee, agent, volunteer. Mia Chanel Kimber was arrested on March 18, 2023. Monica Shanora Jones was arrested on March 20, 2023. They both were arrested on the following charges: child molestation, a party to a crime; statutory rape, a party to a crime; sexual assault of a person over whom have supervisory, disciplinary authority over a party to a crime. Sexual assault by facility, employee, agent, volunteer, a party to a crime. Sexual exploitation, party to a crime. Mandated reporter, failed to mandate. Felicia Marie Campbell was arrested on March 23, 2023 at Lovejoy High School for the following charges. Mandated reporter, failure to mandate. We ask that all media respect the privacy and protection of the victim involved in this case, our victims. Please do not release any names or the location of this incident. We will now take any questions you may have.
I have a question. How long, to your best knowledge, had this been going on, allegedly been happening?
Allegedly, these allegations started in August and went through to our investigating starting in March. Yes.
August of this year?
August of 2022.
Excuse me, yes, 2022.
Sergeant, I'm with Fox 5. You said that it was like watching a Netflix series unfold before our eyes.
Yes, sir.
I mean, is this a case, is this a bad, like one of the worst cases you've ever seen? Obviously, these people were entrusted with the care of these kids, and this happened. I mean, is this one of your, how long you've been in law enforcement? Is this one of the worst cases you've seen, or can you describe to us?
I would say this is one of the second worst cases I've seen, and one of the first worst cases I've seen involving juveniles. But this is not the worst case that I've seen, no.
I have a question. Hi, I'm with the AJC. I had spoken to somebody who said they had made a complaint to a hotline and sent a complaint as well to several state officials about abuse going on at this facility back in like November and December. Are you aware of this complaint? And if so, do you know if anything was done at that time?
We are currently investigating many allegations and complaints made to various resources. The complaints were not made directly to Clayton County Police Department, so we are, a little behind, but we are investigating any complaints that have been made toward the Rainbow House since last year. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Do you know what point Caleb was terminated and then started working back at the facility?
Caleb was terminated at some point during the month of January this year and was terminated for a week and a half, and then he was reemployed at the facility after that.
Do you know what he was terminated for originally in January?
Originally in January, he was terminated for violating a Rainbow House policy.
You don't know what policy that was?
I do, but it would jeopardize my case at this time.
Can you provide any more details as of why they removed the juvenile? You said it was on false allegations.
So the juvenile that was removed under the pretense to our human trafficking unit that contact had been made from an outside suspect with the juvenile at the Rainbow House, and they were asked that we remove the child from the Rainbow House because we felt the Rainbow House children that were placed there would be in jeopardy, or basically that the safety had been compromised.
Someone came forward. How important is that for the community that if you hear something, say something? We always say that, but in this instance,
it's very important for the community to come forward. In this situation, we are finding that although some people did come forward, they did not come forward directly to the police department. Clayton County Police Department was not aware of any allegations prior to our investigation that started in March. So it is very important to involve our partners and to come forward and advise of these reports of allegations. However, we cannot control what other agencies did or did not do. We can only take it from today.
You said that there are other victims in this case. Do you have the ages of those victims?
We cannot release that at this time.
Sorry, is this place still in operation, still open at this point, or are there still kids there?
At this time, we've been advised that kids will be relocated to other safe locations. I do not know offhand. I haven't had contact this morning. We've been a bit busy, so I do not know if any kids are at that location right now, but I know the staff that we are investigating is no longer employed by that location. So the kids were safe the last we knew at the location.
Would you say that if this place was not a safe place for these kids?
I would feel that the employees that were involved in the situation were unsafe to be around children. Not necessarily that the facility itself was unsafe.
Do you have any sense that there will be just a review of broader protocols? I know a lot of this is outside of your control if it wasn't given to the police department, but for example, if it is back in November, and there was a breakdown in communication there. I mean, is there going to be any kind of, just if that is found to be true, any kind of...
I can't speak on behalf of other agencies. What I will say is that we are diligently working with those agencies to see if there was a breakdown in communication, and if so, how that will be fixed for the future.
We received a statement from the attorney representing Felicia Campbell. That attorney said in the statement that they had already set up to meet with officers, and that the officers just did not wait 2 more hours and instead arrested her at the school, and that she had information that she was going to share with the officers, meaning like she was cooperating with police. Is there any truth to that statement?
That is a negative. With any situation where we have suspects, they are allowed the opportunity to come in and speak with us. We did allow that opportunity to her, and the arrest warrants were obtained the day before we spoke with the lawyer.
Thank you, Sergeant. In closing, there may be additional arrests forthcoming and the investigation is ongoing. I will say this, any mandated reporter that failed to uphold their duty to these victims will be held accountable. And I ask that any pertinent information to this investigation be submitted to our agency at phone number 770-603-5266. We thank you for your time.
Chief, quickly, just to clarify, so you guys do not want any video of the address where Rainbow House says it is?
We do not.
Okay.
Thank you so much for your help. Thank you, team.
Thank you.
Of course. Anything for you, man.